Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode number 3 of Swimming Against the Stream. My name is Deke. You can call me Deekster. I'm joined tonight by my guy, JG603. How are you, JG?
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm doing fantastic. Tonight.
Great to see you. And we have a very special guest tonight, Swain_Games. How are you doing tonight, sir?
I'm good. Who's the very special guest, though?
I think we know who that is. And speaking of guests and knowing one another, listening to the podcast back, it really hit me hard when I thought, you know what? We jumped into episode 2 and we started talking. And it's okay we have live audience right here in our Twitch channel for those who are listening on podcast platforms, and for those who are watching on YouTube, and they may not know who we are and our diversity we have, and that's kind of the whole idea of the show, to help people thinking about streaming or who are new to streaming. We're pretty happy with our diversity we have, so we'll just do a brief little roundtable tonight, and I'll start it off. So my name is Deke, as I said before, Deke22, Twitch TV. I am a middle-aged gamer, if you will, 54 years old, married with a son soon, headed off to university this fall, and I have a in real life job, full-time job, 50 hours a week, and I stream part-time. JG, if you could too, a little about yourself and how we are diverse, that'd be great.
Oh yeah, so I'm 26. I've been streaming for a little over a year here. Lifelong gamer, but finally decided to kind of step it up and start doing something with it. Just finished school this past February, business degree, hoping to put that thing to good use. But until then, we're just hanging out, playing some games, having a good time. That's what it's all about.
Great. As we said, each week we have a different guest on to get a good understanding of all the vast experiences all the streamers have. And we couldn't have a better one than we do tonight. This gentleman that you see before you, below us, is credited to starting a lot of streaming careers off. He's always been one to really help. I would not be anywhere streaming today if it wasn't for this man. So, Swain, if you wouldn't mind, tell us a little bit about yourself as much as you feel comfortable, so we can get understanding about where you came from and what your story is, sir.
Yeah, absolutely. Turned 39 a couple years ago. Have a full-time career. I do stream part-time. I do stream part-time. I stream as much as I can, but beautiful wife, lovely daughter, and I enjoy playing video games, and I enjoy the fact that we have a platform where we can not only have somebody hang out while we're playing video games, but literally have people to talk to and interact with. Nice. And as much as I love video games, and I don't know how much you want me to go on, I'll do it quick, but
take your time.
I was basically done with video games until my brother called me one day and said, there's a game called SOCOM, and you got to get a PS2, but we can play this game together online, and we can talk on the headset, and we can actually play against other people, and then we can talk to those people that we're playing against, and the rest is history. Here we are today doing a Discord podcast with these two hot dudes above me, and we're having a ball. We're having the time of our lives right now. We are all very lucky as content creators, streamers, viewers, etc. This is amazing. I just love every bit of
It's
it.
incredible.
For sure. So you spoke about that, keeping you away from leaving gaming. Was that what got you into streaming, Swain? Was it that game and your brother's contacting you to get you into streaming, or was it something else?
No, I've always... My nickname growing up, I had two nicknames. One was Happy, the other one was the
Gilmore?
Wiz. And no, yeah, pretty much. And the Wiz was because I was never like the best ever, but I was always really good at every game I played. And I streamed a game called... I made a Twitch account just because my cousin said make a Twitch account, so I did. There's also one Ustream. You guys remember Ustream? I don't know.
No, I don't.
No.
When you first got PlayStation, it was either Twitch or Ustream. It's kind of like
yep.
HD and Blu-ray. But anyways, I played a game called Don't Starve. I absolutely love the game. And my buddy Double D was like, "You're really good at this game. You should stream it." I'm like, "Yeah, I'll try it." I had like 130 people watching me play this game.
Wow.
And it's really challenging to play this game. And there's an underground spot where you go to that makes it even more challenging. And so I'm doing like the thing you don't do in the game. And it was crazy. And I called him, and like he was in there, and I was like, you gotta like moderate. I had one mod. I'm like, you gotta talk to these people, all that. I like 130, 140 people at one point for a long, long time. My PlayStation froze. I lost every viewer. And I tried to do it again and it never could pick up. So I just kind of gave up on it. And then my cousin called me. My cousin was visiting and he was going home and he's like, I want to watch you play Madden. He loved watching me play Madden because I get really pissed off and I start yelling and screaming. And I come up with all these random thoughts that no one in the world comes up with. And he's like, just sign on Twitch because I have unlimited data on my cell phone. Back when unlimited data wasn't a big deal. 3 years ago, I couldn't get unlimited. But anyways, he's like, play Madden. I want to listen to you on the way home. And just if you play an asshole, just yell at him. I'm like, I'm good for it. Can we cuss on here, by the way?
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I start playing Madden, and next thing I know, like I had like two or three people watching again, and then it started picking up a little bit. And I had no idea how to play MUT. I was playing MUT Draft, and honestly, it was kind of a slow grind. I'd get like, hey, hi, hey, and you start trying to talk to him like, stay here, please, God, stay here. I have somebody talking. How's it going, man? Hey, how's it going? Where are you from? What do you do for a living? He's gone. And then time fast forwards a little bit, and then this guy who's named Afterburn hung out, and I've tried a lot of different ways to get rid of him. He just won't leave. But Afterburn hung out, and honestly, it was between both my cousins who fronted the computer. I didn't have a computer. Shockingly, I didn't have a computer. But really, it was Afterburn and keeping that momentum and picking stream up. And then It was like, wait a minute, we're meeting people. We're not meeting viewers. We're meeting like actual human beings that, are interested in not just the game. They're interested in me and what I'm doing. And they want to have adult conversations and they want to hear how immature I am and my random screams and yells of random nonsense.
So crazy, and it really is.
Honestly, man, a week from Friday is 3 years.
That's fantastic.
It's crazy.
Fantastic.
That's awesome, man.
So
yeah, that's fantastic. I think that's the thing that really gets everyone into really streaming is that interaction. Because someone who for years just kind of played games by myself, maybe I do online and just hook up with some guy I never met. But then you get into the streaming, you're meeting people, meeting guys who end up being lifelong friends. And I've said it before, I couldn't imagine, knowing some guy like twice my age living, thousands of miles and up north and just so close. It's crazy how this thing works, man. Really
yeah.
is.
Well, sure. When I was about 12 years old, we moved, and it's in between 6th and 7th grade. Not the easiest time in my opinion. It was hell. I fucking hated life at that time in my life. I had all these friends, I had family, I had people I'd known my whole life, and I'm moving to a fucking town. I know nobody. It's right at the end of the school year. So of course I'm playing my Nintendo like it's going out of style. And then at that point, slowly after Super Nintendo came out, it was hell, man. Like video games was kind of like the thing to do. My brother was kind of an asshole. If he wasn't good, he wouldn't play. So, and I was, in all fairness to him, if I was really good, why would he want to play against me? But video games was kind of my savior. And so again, like I said about SOCOM, for the longest time, nobody would play games against me. I guess I was kind of a jerk about it. Like I would be better than them. Like, you suck. Like Street Fighter, nobody ever beat me in Street Fighter. Like it went on, and then to transition to now where you can play a game, and my parents yell like, "Don't play this video game, just a waste of time." And this, and my parents are super supportive now. They don't fucking care what I do now. I'm in my 40s, for God's sakes. But the fact that we can play video games and share that experience with other people just literally there's times I have to remind myself I have to get rid of my entitlement and some of the way my mind will wander and just realize like you're literally on screen playing video games with other people who like video games. Like what more could you possibly want? Right. These are all people that have families. Some of them have children. They have full-time jobs. Some don't. Like we all share something together. It's amazing.
That's really a very good point. That's a very good segue. So, I mean, a lot of things there you touched on, Swain, were pretty much the positives of this, of this hobby. So what we try to do is we try to bring up to some of the limelight what are some challenges and what are things you need to think of, especially, you know, if you're in this game now, you understand it. Even if it's been a year, 6 months, but someone thinking, you know, I want to stream. We try to let them know what they should be aware of and share ideas to help them. So one topic tonight we're going to talk about, JG, I'll throw it over to you. So the idea of upgrades. So I don't think anyone as a streamer, or I could be wrong, but I don't think anyone starts off with all the top-notch gear ready to rock and roll.
No, definitely.
You know,
not.
we all start off. Even Swain, you've been at it now 3 years, coming up next week. I seen past clips of you. You show them on your stream for breaks, and pretty much same as everyone else. You were from the console streaming, and you know, grainy camera, but you know what? It's what you had. So I'm going to ask you both to talk about, you know, when's a good time to decide to upgrade, and what's your first piece of equipment that you upgraded and why? And JG, I'll start with you, bud.
Yeah, so it's funny. So of course, as many have has, I started on the PS4 console stream, the old grainy camera in the corner with chat on the screen, and it was working. You know, I think that to this day it's very efficient. I think if someone in chat is thinking, "Oh, can I get away with doing this?" Absolutely. I think everyone's got to start somewhere. And quite frankly, I think it would be a bad idea to dive into something too much without really know what you're getting yourself into. I think there are people who might get into streaming and find out it's not their cup of tea, which, I don't think, everyone enjoys watching. Not everyone, really can dive in and start doing it themselves. And I think that it's important to at least give yourself a couple months, if not longer. I think that before you make upgrades, make sure everything's going well, because I mean these things are very expensive. I think the best thing you can do though is just get a decent USB camera. You can get a cheap one and throw it in your console and see how that goes, because I mean outside the alerts, there's really not much you're missing through console streams. I think that as long as you have a good content, everything will come along. But my first upgrade was I kind of just dove right in. I was able to have a couple really good months, so I got a nice PC built, which I haven't upgraded over the last year. I haven't really felt need to. I think my camera is excellent, much more. I think you're seeing more than you want to see. You don't need to see every follicle. That's aggressive. So I think maybe my mic, if anything, but I mean an extra monitor, but very, very thankful to have been able to have a really good setup right out the gate, which I know not a lot of people get to have. But I think it is important to realize that you don't always need to upgrade. I know it's sometimes fun to, but it's not necessary, because I think even with medium quality technology, you can put together really good content.
Good points. Good points. Dwayne, what was your upgrade journey like?
It's really funny that I say this out loud, but this is just the harsh reality of it all, is that as a streamer, you always think that upgrading is going to mean more of something. But the reality is the upgrades just benefit you. Yes, a better camera. I need a better microphone. This is a fucking $80 microphone. This is like it's not very good. Like my sound quality is shit. But it's better than what I had before. I started with a PlayStation camera, and I had a Snowball Yeti. I think it was like $40-$50.
Okay.
And I would grab my cell phone, and I would play music on my cell phone.
Yep.
The old timers would know that.
Yeah.
I remember those days. Got my iPad blasting.
Goddamn tomato would be like, "Oh, it sounds like you're listening to a cell phone." You think, Tomato? I am listening to a cell phone. And so
he was your best mod, wasn't he?
It was kind of like, well, I literally said, because Tomato takes little credit, but he deserves a lot. Tomato is like, you need a better computer. Flat out, you need a better computer. And I'm like, dude, these fucking computers are X amount. And he's like, put the goal total up. We hit it in like 2 months, which we normally do. That's why I don't do it that often. It's got to be something important. It's got to be something necessary for stream, or something that I feel like is, like the pickle playset, dude, that's going to last 10-20 years.
Yeah.
To me, when you start out streaming, you want to feel like you're this, like you have the best equipment, or you have this, that, and the other. Like, start off slow. If you go all in and you buy this, you're not going to be able to do that. And you got to have a mindset of, why are you streaming? Like, if you'll hear people say a lot, like, I don't stream for money. There are people that don't stream for money. I just haven't met them yet. Maybe you're not expecting to pay your rent with it. But if these people that quote unquote say, I don't stream for money, turn your fucking donations off. You don't have to activate your subs and bids. You can refund all that.
That's
you
true.
need there needs to be a balance with that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so everyone does stream. I can't afford to justify spending large amounts of money on things that it took to do on stream. So I had the community help me with that, and then I found other ways to give back thousands of dollars. I
Mhm.
can get to that later. I have a lot to say before this is over.
Yeah, of
But
course.
as far as your equipment upgrades, take your time with it.
Yeah.
I think for me going back 3 years ago, I thought, man, if I had a computer and if I had a really good camera, this would make a difference. More people would want to come by. People would stay longer.
No.
No, no.
Nope. You're
Honestly,
the show.
yeah,
You're the show, not the equipment. If
you're
you
all that
got the
matters.
charisma, that's all
Doesn't
that
matter.
matters.
It does not matter. And honestly, I would say for a lot of reasons, I lost some viewers when I upgraded because people were like, "Oh, he's a big fancy streamer now." Like people literally said that and haven't been back. So it's that wholesome feel. And
Mhm.
if you're
Yeah.
good and you're enjoying what you're doing, even if it takes you 2 years, it took me a very, very long time to upgrade. Take
Mhm.
your time with it. Enjoy the journey.
Yeah, I
Yep.
think there's something to say for some. It's almost it's relatable when you look at someone and they don't have the greatest setup with crazy overlays and all the bells and whistles. There's something that makes it feel a little bit homier, I think, for a lot of people. When you get too over the top, whether it be whatever's going through the stream, sometimes I think it gets lost on some people. A lot of people, what they're looking for is to hang out, talk with some people. Not everyone's looking for something over the top, but that's what's so nice about the platforms. I think everyone has their own kind of bit. Some people do things one way, some people do them the other, but
Mhm.
at the end of the day, everyone's got their favorite cup of
Mhm.
tea. And good thing is there's many different options on this platform. So many.
Yeah.
Yeah. One more quick thing too, and
Sure.
it's very important to know. It's like I'm not a computer guy. I get
Yeah.
some of it, but I've been very not influenced. I've been enabled by Wes. I cannot stream without Wes. If Wes decides fuck it, I'm done. I'm in big fucking trouble. I need Wes to fucking teach me all the ins and outs of this. This shit is not easy. Like
Oh, no.
there's a lot of people say, "Oh, it's piece of cake." You know what?
No.
This shit is not easy. If Wes decides, "Fuck you, Swain, your shit sucks. I don't want to talk to you anymore," I need to find somebody that can help me. Or you know what? There's gonna be a fucking PS4 cam, and
Mhm.
my cell phone has plenty of music on it, and I'll
Yep.
be fine with it.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind when you upgrade. Every time I upgrade, there's more issues. Every
Yep.
time. My
Yeah,
PS4
that was gonna be
camera
my point.
never broke. It never hiccuped. I never lost chat. I never had any hiccups. My old shit computer that had, I think it was Windows Vista on it, ran totally fucking fine. All this fancy equipment shit I have, it is nightmare after nightmare. This microphone is actually
Yep.
so shitty that all you have to do is unplug and plug back in and it works just fine. But this camera breaks, you got to put 8 fucking buttons on the goddamn thing. And
Yep.
the Stream Deck looks pretty. I never fucking use it. I have a mouse and keyboard. That's all I do.
Yeah.
I think that's something that's really important too. I mean, people don't realize how tough this stuff is. I mean, I thought my keyboard was broken. It just had a software update. I was hitting it.
Yeah.
I thought my control button was stuck
Yeah.
because it kept bringing up history.
Yeah.
Nope, don't hit it, buddy. You just got to update.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the little stuff you sometimes forget. Sometimes a cord unwiggles itself, and next thing you know, you're in trouble. But I think that's something that people don't think about is the stress with just the technology itself.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we witnessed a little bit of technical difficulties tonight on both sides here with possible Discord and audio and output and all that stuff. And it's very frustrating when you think everything is working out fine and then something happens, something cuts out. You're trying to fix it. You don't know how to fix it. You're trying to find someone to help you fix it, which is why having this community is so incredible. Very rarely do I have a problem that's not solved within half an hour at most because someone's like, "Oh yeah, that happened to me. Do this, and you're good to go." I'm like, "Perfect. We're rolling. We're rolling."
And that's it's a great segue that Swain brought up, and it's so true that the advancement and the upgrades are fantastic, but they come with a penalty, and that is things going wrong. It's like the reason why when I see these folks buying these vehicles that are fully loaded, and some of the stuff in today's technology on a vehicle is absolutely asinine, and it's like I know it's just another thing that can go wrong, so I try and stay away from that. And point blank tonight, with you see what I'm wearing these earbuds that come with my Apple phone that were free. And I was upgraded for Christmas from a blessing from my wife for earbuds, and they work fine if I'm streaming. As soon as I try to go to Discord or do something else or play Fortnite online, there's always an issue. There's always fooling with them. And it's like a snowflake. It's never the same thing twice. So, speaking of Westman Y2K, who Swain talked about, fellow streamer, he had a great point in our chat here for those who are listening on on podcasts and on YouTube watching. And that is, if you feel the need that you have to upgrade, you know what? Check out eBay first. Or, we have Kijiji here in Canada as well. I'm not even sure. Is Craigslist still a thing? Sorry to ask that, but being a Canadian, I'm not really sure.
It's sketchy at best, but it is still a thing, somehow.
But I mean, they're a great avenue to check first, because like someone always does dive in first, head first, and buy all the gear. And then they don't like it, or it's not for them, or they've had enough, or the wife says, this is it, you're done. So where's the gear go? It's like exercise equipment, up for sale at half the price. So great point by Wes from Y2K. So great points by all of you, actually. So if you had to, let's say, like for me now, I had no choice. When I started streaming in January, the laptop I had just wouldn't carry it. And I know I could have continued on with the PlayStation, and just like Swain said, I was playing music on my phone with the speaker behind me, was throwing it out there. But I thought, you know what, I did not plan on happening what happened and having some relative success in the first few months. But I said, we need a PC. Let's get a PC and see how it goes. So at least I can have song requests and have alerts. Yeah. So it's somewhat kind of professional. And you know what? And as it turned out, I'm glad I did. But I mean, what's the one thing you would, if you had to upgrade, you would upgrade to a better mic or camera or what have you to stay, I don't want to use the word relevant, but to improve your stream? Is there anything or...
Talking about me personally, or what I would recommend for other people?
What would you recommend for other people is what I'm asking, Swain. Yeah. If you really could, what would you say you improve first?
I think the video over the audio, because I feel like you can pick up a pair of earbuds, or you can pick up a Yeti fuckface, whatever this microphone's called.
Sorry, Yeti, we do not want sponsorship.
No, let me talk to fucking Yeti. I got something I want to say to them. I think there's a lot of different microphones that you can buy between $30 and a couple $100.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Then it's you're going big boy status. You're going Go XLR. You're getting 2, 3. I don't remember who it was the other day. Somebody said I have the same microphone Michael Jackson used to record album. Okay,
I've seen that in your stream. I've seen that.
Like, holy fuck!
That's aggressive.
This microphone
that also sounds really complicated, by the way.
Like, that's expensive. That's a big upgrade. I'm not convinced it's going to improve the stream. I'm not convinced that people need to hear my voice any different than they already hear it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I think with the grainy, nasty, shitty cameras that you get, just a minor upgrade. This is my 4K. This is my other one. You can see my hand waving, right? This is like an $80 mic. The motion's not terrible though, compared to this one. I mean, you can honestly see that it's way better, right? Like
we lost you, Swain.
There's hardly any grain. Oh, you should be able to get me back. Hold on.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying too. I got a second camera recently because I've been doing a lot of in real life packs, doing it for my hot ones as well, and I definitely noticed that not having. So of course my main's a Logitech, a nice one of the 1080 ones, and you notice the graininess for sure, which I think is the big problem. There's like a delay on it and stuff when you don't have the best quality, and I think that it's really nice to have a camera that's where it needs to be. I don't think you need to, like I mentioned earlier, you don't need, a professional photographer where you can see every detail on the face. I think as long as you get a relatively clean picture, it's not skippy, it's not jumpy, you're not, dropping frames while you're talking, it's always nice. Because I do think that when you can't really, it's of course nice to see the streamer, but I do think that, look at all three of our backgrounds. I mean, you really get a feel for the person, which is something that I really love about my setup, because at my old setup, the whole background was just a whole pop wall. It shows you kind of the stuff I'm into. You can see some of them now. Of course, you got the signed jersey. I think it's really important to try to capture someone in that moment they hop in the stream. They hop in there, they get some of the game, but what they're also looking at is they're looking at you. They're looking at the streamer, and more importantly, the background. I've had our guy Raw mention, he's like, "Hey man, I saw your background. I saw the pops." It's like this guy's kind of in the stuff I'm into, which I think was awesome. I think that something so little as a background being able to capture someone's attention that you might lose on a lower quality camera, I think is something that's really cool as well.
Yeah.
So like we were saying, if you upgrade your equipment, that shit wouldn't happen with a PS4 camera. I'm just telling you.
True facts. You know what? True facts. Too fast for sure. But yeah, it's something that I think a lot get caught up on, and they're looking, down that road, and I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I was. I mean, is whatever was put into the stream, I put back into it. So I seen it as an opportunity to upgrade and stuff, and what difference does it make? Who knows? But it's more things that can go wrong, and it's always that risk when you do it and you add things, components, especially software. And software, a lot of times, are free upgrades. As soon as you bring them into the mix, pardon the pun, mix it. You can get until it can be frustrating to get them working. I mean, I think a lot of my time spent, and you probably too can tell stories as well, spent towards streaming has been solving issues, troubleshooting, troubleshooting a flipping problem.
We mentioned the XLR mics, and that's something that I haven't gotten into because I specifically am not mentally, I don't think I can handle all this stuff. I mean, there's a lot of issues that happen when you get the mixer. There could be issues with the soundboard itself. I mean, you got so many chords and programs you run through. I mean, it's crazy how much stuff, just the little stuff that you don't even think about at the time.
Yeah, for sure. And, again, Westman Y2K, another good point in chat. We talked about the camera and such, and, you can have a very basic camera. I mean, I got the $50 Logitech, but with a little bit of lighting, it can make a world of difference. And again, it doesn't need to be a Elgato ring light. Those bad boys are pricey. I mean, I got mine off of Amazon for $70 for two of them, one behind me, one in front of me. $70 are still going strong. So, I mean, there are bargains out there, but
daylight bulbs are actually really efficient. Just take a simple camera, a lamp with the bendy arm on it, put a couple day bulbs in there, and you get great quality light from it. That's what I actually ran at the old place for the longest time. Our guy Smee told me that. He's like, dude, just get daylight bulbs. Don't get the ring lights. They're cheaper. They're easy to replace. You're good to go. Great call.
Easier on the eyes for migraines too.
Yeah, there's another thing. So
too. I mean,
you got a guy like Swain who's.
I have a ceiling light. I have this light, and I have another light that's going to the ceiling. Another one's packed. I keep them sons of bitches away from me. I don't want to see any lights when I'm streaming.
So Swing, do you mind talking about your equipment malfunction that you had roughly about 4 or 5 months ago? It really wasn't on your streaming gear. It was actually your door.
I was wondering, like, well, where are we going here? Where are we going?
So my wife has made it very clear she never wants to be on camera, and she's very pretty. I don't know why, but to each his own.
Yeah,
let her do her. So I have a day where Pickle, my daughter, keeps pushing on the door, and back then they had these little plastic strips for the guides, and it's basically 2 French doors, and we have the barn style thing. So Pickle pushes on it, and every time she does, the plastic bends down, and then the door hits, so it can't go back. So we have to move it forward and then glide it back through there.
Okay.
And I kept telling Mrs. Swain, I'm like, she's gonna break that damn door. So I had an EA stream, so I cannot cancel stream. I have to be there at a certain time. And I hear clunk, and as I look over, this sumbitch just, I know James P was there. I can't tell you anybody else is there. The door hits, and literally it takes this monitor out. I would change camera angle, but we know how that goes.
Yeah.
There are black marks. If I haven't showed you guys, remind me when I stream next, I'll show you. There are black marks all over the door where the glass literally just missed every important spot.
Oh my gosh.
And had it been about 2 inches over to the right, that door would have taken me out. And it's heavy. It's an old style French door.
First of all, thank God it didn't go farther, but also
yeah, for sure. That could have been really bad.
Hodor's been fired.
Yeah, Hodor. We ended up, there's metal on the carpet now. I don't care how it looks. And then we put baseboard around it. So it actually kind of looks nice. Awesome. Some bitch ain't going anywhere.
Yeah. Just wanted to share that story because that's, that
crazy.
was right before a huge stream. They were talking thousands of people are going to be in your stream. And that happened. I mean, just,
real quick before I forget, I have spilled beer 3 times on stream. It's been a while. Knock on wood. I had, when I used to vape, I had vape juice. I spilled it fucking everywhere. I mean, everywhere. It went all over my keyboard, my mouse, my controller, everywhere. I had this bottle, it was like this jumbo size bottle of vape. And I'm like, this is awesome. And I'm fucking pouring it. The top fell off. So it's like, I don't remember. It was like probably 4 ounces of vape juice. And it's oil. And
That's
then
brutal.
Yeah.
a funny quick story, literally 15-second story. I got really shit-faced drunk on stream, like really shit-faced drunk. I just told the
I've
story the
been
other day. I was eating a plate of nachos. I raided somebody because I was starving,
Yeah.
and it's this like mound of nachos, and I'm mouth open, just going to town on these fucking nachos. I had no idea. I raided somebody. I never stopped stream. And Damien hit me up. He's like, "You're still live?" I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, I can still see your stream. You're eating nachos." So I did that. About 2 weeks later, I'm in PSN chat, and I was eating tacos. I had a plate of tacos. They were delicious, and I went to put my hand down, and the plate flew, and it taco everywhere. I've had some malfunctions.
Yeah, so we didn't have I don't remember what the exact situation was, but for some reason I was having a margarita, which is really random, especially for the time of day I'm streaming. But I was doing some dance or something, and the margarita spilled all over my nice Corsair keyboard. My space button still doesn't work. I have to just I tried everything. I tried to
Oh.
like soak some kind of like
Oh man.
wipe in there. It just nothing's happening. Talk about things you got to be careful about. Clearing your desk space and making sure you're away from everything that's valuable if you're going to do something stupid.
Yeah.
That's one of the first rules of streaming is make sure your desk space is clear. The amount of times I've gone to move my hand out or set something down and I knocked a drink over, luckily away from everything. It's a dangerous zone.
The thing I'll say, I'm 2 beers I've knocked down. I keep them to my side, so if they go down, it's behind the desk where I can clean it. But it's still a nuisance, and they're both beer bottles. So Junior got me this little Yeti that holds a can of beer, nice flat bottom, nice and sturdy. If I knock that in my hand, it just slides. It doesn't knock over. So if you're a streamer and you enjoy cold beverage, try to stay away from the bottle or tall glasses because your hand will knock them reaching for something.
Yeah. Oh yeah. A weighted bottom. That's a great call. I love that.
Yeah.
That.
All great stories. So the other topic we want to talk about tonight, which is a little more, personally directed as to your lifestyle, what you do, how you can do it. And that's talking about stream schedule. Now, we talked before on this podcast about, work-life balance and that sort of thing. And it kind of ties into that. So, Swain, was this your first time in the show? Feel free to jump into that too as well. But what we want to talk about is a stream schedule. What is a good stream schedule? Now, this is great tonight because we have 2, part-time streamers here, and we got a full-time streamer, so we can really get a good feel for what we do. And what do you try to do, and how does it work for you? So, I'll start off just briefly that, I am a part-time streamer. I try as much as I can to stick to Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. I like weekends with the family. And even with that, I work Monday to Friday, early in the morning till afternoon. So try not to go on too late. But also, I tend to try and stream around things that happen with the family. Like, for example, right now, when Junior has basketball practice, if I'm going to stream while he's home and then be off when he has basketball practice for 3 hours in the evening, that kind of defeats the purpose. So I move it for that reason. And also, I'm very finicky because this time of year, I'm a huge gardener. That's my therapy, is gardening and being outside. So I tend to even stream around the weather and try and move my schedule accordingly to that. What's your guys' thoughts on that? What do you guys do, and what influences your schedule, and how often you stream, when you stream? Are you a fixed schedule person, or are you flexible? You go ahead, Swain.
Let's take it.
Well, so I would say the first solid year and a half, I just streamed all the fucking time. I would honestly say that I spent way too much time streaming.
I was going to ask, what's your thoughts on that, Swain?
Well, I'll kind of wrap it all together.
Yeah.
So I literally stream too much. I stream too goddamn much. I was 4, 5, 6 hours of sleep a night. I was on the grind, and then I went to an actual schedule, which I hated. But I went to an actual schedule, and then it kind of leveled out. I went back and forth between both. But at some point, it was just like, I felt like people know I work Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. I'm going to go home at this time. I'm going to stream. When I started getting EA drop streams and then started chasing partner, you guys want to have a conversation? Let's talk about fucking chasing partner. Yeah. But I was like, all right, I'm making a set schedule. I'm going to stream from this time to this time. And if stream starts to drop off, because I'm looking at numbers, If stream drops below 75 average and we're doing good all day, then I'm just going to call stream. And a lot of my hot loyal dudes would tell you that it was not a fun time. It was not fun. It was not enjoyable to know when I was streaming, but you have this set schedule. And a lot of times when you're going for a partner, this is what you do. I can tell you that for me, if I'm being completely as honest as I can be, I know the guys that I watch when they're going to be on. I know that JG is going to be on when I'm on my lunch break for work. And it's very rare that I don't go in. I may not always say hi to JG, but I usually do, and it's pretty consistent. If I go on Twitch and he's not live, I go, why isn't he live?
Yeah.
And then I start searching. Same thing with you, Deke. I know when you're live, and it's the same preferences. Like, oh, that's not right. There's never a day of the week or on the weekend where I go, oh, this is when so-and-so streams. Like, I could tell you pretty much when people stream, but I couldn't tell you their exact schedules. So I think a schedule matters, but I don't think it matters as much as people preference that is.
Absolutely.
If you are on the grind, if you want to get growth, if you want to try to make a few extra bucks, if you want to chase partner, those are all different categories of things you need to be doing. You need to whore out to hit partner. Anybody who's hit partner easily, congratulations. Anybody else who's hit partner has had to have a very fucking strict schedule, and they have to end that schedule at that time, and they have to promote constantly. You know what? Get a Twitter. Follow people on Twitter. Very few people on Twitter don't announce when they're going live.
Yeah.
Twitter is fuck the notifications on Twitch.
They never
don't
work
even
anyway.
worry. Don't even worry if Twitch shows you somebody's live. Follow Twitter. Follow the streamers you want to follow. If you want noties on Twitter, great. If not, it will tell you when people are live. And after almost 3 years of streaming, to this day, people go, "Hey, are you streaming tonight?"
Oh, that's something that always bugs me. I'm like, I've had the same schedule for a year. I will be on.
You know what I'm saying? So like, and again, if JG doesn't stream in the times that he hasn't streamed, you know what I do? I don't hit up JG. I literally go to his Twitter and I go, okay.
I always
it.
post. I will never miss a stream because I'm someone who I'm very scheduled, just mostly because that's when the fiance is working. It's my free time, so I'm like, well, am I just going to sit around all day? No, let's hop on Twitch and hang out with everybody.
Yeah, makes sense.
We're very strict. We get on in the morning. We get off by 5:30. We start dinner. And, it sometimes shifts a little later, a little earlier. Did I sleep well? Did I wake up on time? Do I have to go to the grocery store? But it's very much so a set thing, which for a lot of people, they can't do that, of course, because, a lot of people do have the jobs and, they gotta work around that. They got to work around the family. But luckily, I'm very thankful to just kind of boot up every day. And sometimes, you don't want to. So you hop on another time or, you change things up. But it's always nice when you have a little bit of leeway. But I would think for most people, if you're just trying to do this for fun, you don't need a schedule. If you're on, the people who are going to be there will always be there. They're always going to stop in. If you're trying to grow, of course, I think a schedule is pretty important because, as Swain mentioned, when you expect to see someone, you kind of want to see them there. And if they don't, like, oh, well, what's up? Let's go see what's up with them. But I think that at the end of the day, a schedule is definitely not the most crucial thing. But I think having a schedule that works for you is way more important than a schedule that works for the viewers, per se. Because at the end of the day, I think that balancing everything is very difficult, especially if you have kids and a job and a family. I mean, there's just so much going on that you're juggling every day that sometimes just hanging out with the guys on Twitch, sometimes it's a blessing. Sometimes it's overwhelming and you're like, let's take a day off. And I mean, I don't think that a lot of the people who watch each of us have any problem with that because very much so, it's not just a community. I've always said it's a family. It's absolutely become a family.
For real.
I love that part of it.
Yeah. And I think, go ahead, Swain.
I was going to say, because if you guys want to have me back on, we can talk about partner. I got a lot of fucking knowledge when it comes to making partner and trying to hit partner and stuff. But
yeah, and that's a great topic to get into.
Yeah. When I think back of my streaming adventure, and how important it was that I never missed a fucking day, it bothers me down in my soul how much it actually didn't fucking mean anything. Those streams when I didn't feel well and I forced myself to stream.
Yeah.
Take care of yourself. As Jimmy Jim would tell you, take care of your mentals. When you are not up to streaming, I personally, a couple years ago, I would have forced myself to stream. It's better. Take a day, spend time with family. If you're not feeling well or you have something else going on,
100%.
The people who are going to watch your stream are going to be there to watch your stream. Don't fucking force yourself to stream.
Especially because having a bad day can lead to a bad experience. You have a bad
Oh,
experience,
oh,
you're like, do I want to
absolutely.
get on next time? Maybe you had a
Absolutely.
bad reaction because, I mean, for people who play Madden, we're competitive people. If
My-
something goes
yeah.
bad in the game, you blow a gasket. Next thing you know, you're like, man, people gonna be like, man, you see what happened with this guy the other day?
Mhm.
And it's like, it's just this whole thing where you got to remember that if you hop on in the wrong mindset, it's not good for anybody. You're not going to have as much fun, and the people aren't going to have as much fun with you. I mean, if you're a drag every time you're on, people aren't going to come back.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You got to remember that it's better to have you at 90% than you at 20%. I mean, that's not even a question. I mean, just
Mhm.
putting out a bad product right there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my momentum going into about this time last year was going really well. We were applying for partner. Averages were above 70. Like averages were literally over 300 because of EA drop streams. But even
Yeah.
without the EA drops, the time that I applied this time last year when I applied, we had Jim and I did the math on it. We literally took the time to research it. I think we had 21 streams in a month period, and only 3 of those streams were under 75 average, and they were all above 70. The 3 that were below 75. So
That's
it was
wild.
literally like Twitch literally still had the excuse of concurrent viewer average. There was no raids, that was no nothing.
Yeah.
But
That's brutal.
about this time last year was when I started. It scared me yesterday. I know you were in there, Deke. I started coughing yesterday. That cough is exactly what happened last year in April.
Mhm.
That cough turned into me being very, very almost deathly ill. That my stream numbers went down a ton for good goddamn reason. I was only streaming once a week, and Kooky was talking the whole time because I could hardly talk. I was
Yeah.
coughing.
Yeah.
I finally started getting better again, and then when I got COVID, the same thing happened. But the thing to know is, like, if you're a new streamer, I have seen people get success so much faster than they should. There are some really good content creators out there. The game doesn't matter, but within the Madden community, I have seen the numbers can be 200, they could be 2,000. I have literally witnessed people that have more subscribers than they do followers.
Yep.
And we're not
It's
talking about 100,
wild.
we're talking thousands. And it's not just on Madden. So when you start off streaming, don't look at the next streamer and say,
Oh no.
this
Yeah.
guy has 2,000
Yeah.
followers, or
That
this
is
guy
so
has
bad for
2,000
you.
subs. However, if you want to try to use it as motivation, that is the one thing that gets my mentals, is when I try to compare myself and I get that sense of entitlement to say, this guy's been streaming for a month or 4 months
Yep.
or 8 months, and he has more fucking followers than I do. And especially the subs, you can't do that. The more time you spend thinking about other people's channels is less time you're spending thinking about your own channel.
Absolutely.
Never forget that rule. I will tell you with all honesty that I still look, I'm competitive. I will still look and go, how the
Yeah.
fuck does that guy have more
It's
viewers
human
than
nature.
I do?
Mhm.
How does that guy have more subscribers than I do?
Yep.
And instead of saying, like, I'm going to see what he's doing and I'm going to copy it, no, I'm going to try to see, well, what can I do better? What can I do to improve my stream?
And that's what's important. You
Yeah.
got to remember, man, not everyone's got the same journey. I've said a few times,
Mhm.
Rome was not built in a day. Some people apparently was, but for most people, it's a very long journey. I mean, it's a day by day grind,
Mhm.
just slowly growing. Some people strike lightning, get that lightning in a bottle, and next thing you know, you're flying up. But I mean, it's not for everyone. I mean, it's just you got to remember that. At the same time, a lot of that is coming from the same people. You know, you gotta look at it as a way where someone else's success cannot always hinder yours. I mean, everyone can eat in this on this platform. You just gotta find your way, and if you let that stuff get to you, it could affect your product, where you're not putting out as good of content. Maybe you're
Oh, for sure,
kind of looking
JG.
at
Yeah.
numbers the whole time.
Yeah.
I mean, I've always said, do not look at the numbers when you're streaming. If you feel like you're having a good time, you're having a good time. That's
Mhm.
all you need to know. You know, there have been
Yeah.
plenty of times where I feel like it's just been another day and I look at it and you're like, holy crap, I got a bunch of viewers. Like, this is awesome. And then you start thinking about it, and then you're in your own head, and you stop doing what you're doing because you feel like you got to be intense, you know, do things a certain way. And it just avoid all that. You just got to do you. That's all you got to do.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, I have found the highs and lows of streaming, and I've seen people within the community, and I've seen other streamers and content creators kind of go through the same thing. So it kind of makes me feel normal, because I've never actually gone through and said, I'm gonna fucking quit this shit soon.
Yeah.
But I've had moments where I'm like, have I hit my peak? Have I leveled out? You know,
Yeah.
I start looking around at all these other guys that are doing so much better, and you know, I've been at this 3 years now, and you know, the numbers change and they frequent. I will tell you guys this, and I need the Tones, I need the Jimmy Jims, I need the James P's, I need the Kookies of the world, the guys who have stuck by me, and there's a
Yeah.
lot more people on that list. Do not fucking mishear me on this. I have a emote that says BCOT.
Yeah.
There are literally, at the fucking second we speak, there are people streaming on Twitch, or they'll put on Twitter and they'll say something about BCOT. They don't even fucking follow my channel, or they don't even know who the fuck I am, or they only watch once a fucking month. When I say BCOT, I am talking about the dudes who have been with me
Yeah.
from the day they came by my stream. They have not left. The dudes, when I was fucking sick, literally almost dying, they were in my fucking stream. They were watching me play The Last of Us. They were talking to me privately. I've had these conversations with you, Deke. I've had these conversations with you, JG.
Yeah.
I've had conversations. When I say I have the fucking best community on Twitch, people don't fucking realize it's not about the subs I get. It's not about the bits I get.
Yeah.
It's not about the fucking numbers I get. I have met genuine, down to earth human beings, people that I will consider friends, damn near family, that I would meet most of these people in fucking real life that I hope to in one day.
Absolutely.
This platform is more than a fucking check mark. It's more than a fucking sub goal or a bit goal or anything else. When you realize that this is a platform that we don't deserve, and it sickens me because I go through mental situations where I think maybe I shouldn't stream anymore. It's disgusting to me when I have a stream like I had yesterday or I had last weekend. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You new streamers, you new content creators, have a plan. Figure out what that is. Because what I did was I wrote down when I first started things I hope to achieve while streaming, and I haven't hit some of those goals, and it pisses me off. And you know what pisses me off about it? I should be fucking partner by now.
Yeah.
Today, this month, last month, I don't deserve partner. My numbers aren't there. But man, were my numbers there for a long time.
Yeah.
What pisses me off is the people who have stuck by my fucking side this whole time. They don't see their content creator that they've supported and they watch with that check mark. That's what hurts me. That's what gets my heart. And I have to constantly stop beating myself up and just go, who fucking cares? They're not here for the check mark. They're here to hang out and have fun. It's just a bunch of hot dudes and a bunch of hot chicks hanging out having fun. That's what you need to focus on. So when you talk about equipment and you're talking about this, and you're talking about all these other things, figure out what you want to accomplish as a content creator. Don't beat yourself up. I will continue to push for that partner check mark. You'll hear me say I don't give a shit about it. Right now, I don't fucking care about it. When Madden comes out next year, I'll try for it again. Yeah. But literally, if it comes to the check mark or me having the dudes who are loyal to watching my channel, fuck that check mark. Fuck the numbers. Fuck sub goals. Fuck
exactly
all these other things you're seeing. And all honesty, my heart, I have to stop beating myself up and comparing myself to others. It is the one thing that I struggle with most. We talked a lot of positive shit. I'm just trying to give a big negative on there. If somebody is a streamer or a content creator and they hit you up privately and they say, man, like my streams aren't going well. What could I be doing better? What could I be doing this? It always boils down to the same thing. Like, figure out why you're streaming, why you're doing it, and try to enjoy it. Because if the dudes that watch me right now stop watching, I don't need to fucking ask anybody what's going on. I will respectively, I will bow, I will walk away. If you have 5 people watching you, don't forget my Afterburn statement. Afterburn was the only fucking person in the entire world watching me. It took me about 5 months to get my first raid before I had more than 10 people watching me. Wow. Think about that. 5 months it took me of streaming before I finally got a raid. It was from a guy named Yo Boy Savage, who I love dearly. And I hit up a guy named Barbosa's, who you guys may or may not know. And I told Barbosa's, I go, I got a raid from your boy Savage. And he said, if you haven't heard the story, you'll love it. He said, oh, I got raided by Gutfox. And I said, who the fuck is Gutfox? Stay at it. But please, whatever you do, make a goal. Don't beat yourself up, but figure out why you're streaming and never forget why you're streaming. There's a best advice I can give you. Throw the equipment, throw all that other shit out the window.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why I started. I've always said it's been the same thing. I mean, of course, as you grow, you hope for more. But I got into this because I wanted to play games and hang out with the people that I've met on Twitch. I was lucky enough to go through an EA raid into Gamepads one day, and he was the most fun I've had. I met the incredible guys that we know now. I mean, I met Deke through there. I met Yimmy. I met CJ. I met so many awesome people. Swain met off of that as well eventually. So it's just great that one little thing like that can change everything too, because you might feel like things have been slow, but next thing you know, you meet somebody, you meet somebody else, and now you got a little community building up. And I think that's something important. We've talked about networking before. I think getting to know people's awesome, and the best thing is I know when I get on every day, I know who's going to be in my channel. I know the same people are going to be there every day, and that's something that's incredible to have. Is when I boot up, I know who I'm going to see, which is cool to see the guys who you don't expect. When you see those same people every day, it makes you feel, man, I'm doing something right.
Yeah, very good points. And you talk about networking, and that's the one thing that I would recommend that everyone does before you think about streaming. Visit a lot of streams. Network. Don't push yourself. Get to know people. Don't push yourself and know, hey, I'm Deekster. I'm going to be streaming here very soon. Just trying to get some ideas. No, just go in, hang out, get to know everybody, and chill. And by the fucking intensity of 1,000 suns. When that happens and you stream, don't forget the people that you networked with and hung with before you were a streamer. That's, that's the number one cardinal rule. Don't forget how you got there, and especially if they support you when you do stream. Make sure you're still supporting them the way you did before you were streaming, because it's key. And this whole thing.
I have a weird. Yeah? I'm sorry, I keep interrupting.
No, you're good.
No.
I have a weird viewpoint on this because I have a very strong feeling about this. When I first started streaming and I got that raid, I was shocked. He was shocked. This is no lie. Savage went on Twitter. He was literally tearing up because of my reaction. Because I grinded, man. I was fucking grinding hours upon hours every single day. 10 to 12 to 14 hours on the weekend. Afterburn is a witness to this. And I finally got a raid. And it was a raid of like, holy shit, 250 people. The reason he was in tears crying about it, and he was so thankful that he raided me, was because of my natural reaction. I could not believe that we had finally had people watching us. We kept 200 of those people in that stream for hours.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's the best feeling, is holding that raid.
It's amazing. If you get raided today, if you're a new streamer or you've been streaming a year, if you've been streaming 5 years, you don't know it. It's time for you to hear it. If you get a raid of 100 people show up to your channel from a raid, you are very, and I mean unbelievably lucky if one of those people hang out for more than 5 minutes. And I'm not talking about the numbers. I'm talking about somebody in your chat. How are you doing? Do you normally stream at this time of day? If you have somebody interacting from a raid, it is so rare.
So rare.
I have a tendency to be like, thanks for the raid. And I'm just like, whatever, let's keep playing. Because it is so bad sometimes to see. I've been raided with 5,000 people from EA, and I'm lucky if 10 of them are talking after 5 minutes.
Yep.
So when you talk about community, you're talking about these things. If somebody came into any of our 3 channels today and just said, like, maybe they hung out for an hour and they were like, hey, I'm trying to become a streamer. This is the downfall of it. I'm gonna compare a new streamer to a bum out on the street. A bum on the street that's begging for money. What is your first thought? He's a shitbag. He's probably not even a bum. He probably makes.
Yeah, they don't need it.
You're like, or he's a druggie, an alcoholic, whatever. You don't want to give the guy money. What sucks about that is it might be a guy whose wife was cheating on him with his best friends. He just lost his job the week before. He is literally a good guy, but he's on the street and he's fucking hungry. He wants a goddamn taco, JG, And he's like, hey man, can I have some money? And you're like, fuck you, get away from me. That is the equivalent of a new streamer on Twitch when you go into community. It's, hey, I'm new to streaming, and you're like, here we go. He's gonna fucking self-promote.
Yep.
So sometimes you don't know that. If you want to become a part of a community, find a community that you like. Don't the first day be like, hey, how do I stream? Help my channel. If you become a part of a community, fuck the streamer. The streamer doesn't matter. His community matters. And if you go into a community or a streamer's community and you start meeting people in that community, they're going to find out you're streaming anyway. And they're going to be like, hey, I know that guy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you guys probably do this today. I see people come to my channel and be like, I know them from so-and-so stream.
Yep. All the time. All the time.
If there's anything I'm shitty at when it comes to streaming, networking and Twitter. Oh my God, I'm fucking terrible at networking. So I think networking has its ups and downs. And obviously I can't give advice too much on it because I'm terrible at it. But when it comes to a community, if you are part of that community, people will start to get to know who you are.
Yep.
That will grow over time because I can, if I tell you guys, hey, my cousin's streaming on Twitch right now, will you guys follow him? A bunch of you guys will go follow him.
Absolutely.
But a lot of you will be like, I'm probably not going to follow him. But let me think of a good. If Platinum Woods starts streaming and he's going to start streaming more than I am, you guys know who Platinum Woods is, right?
Yeah.
You don't need me to tell you who Platinum Woods is.
Yeah.
If I say Platinum Woods is streaming, you guys are gone. You're going to go watch his channel. My part's done. His part's done. He's already part of the community. If that makes sense. I mean, that's I see so many people go into a channel.
Is the key. You don't do it aggressive. You go there to hang out. There are people who I've had in my channel for literal months before I realized that they were streamers. I don't know if that's on me or if that's just on them being awesome about it. I mean, I think that personally, if I know you for less than an hour or two, even maybe a couple days or even a week, and then you're coming in trying to talk about yourself, it's just not the place or time. I mean, I am someone who's always very open to helping someone. If I know someone and they need help to get affiliate, I'm there. If someone has some kind of special stream, I'm gonna do my best to send some love there. It's just, I think that there's a right way and a wrong way to do it. And I think some people these days are a little aggressive about it. But the good thing about our community is luckily everyone knows each other and it works in slowly. I think a lot of the current streamers that I enjoy hanging out with started as viewers. And the next thing you know, they decided to boot up themselves. But I definitely think that there's really something that rubs you the wrong way when you just met this person. Seems like they're a good chat member. Next thing you know, they're talking about themselves. They're talking about their channel. They're talking about how they can get better. And it's like, there's a better way to do it. There's always a better way to do it.
Yeah, for sure. And we were talking, Swain alluded to, networking and Twitter and stuff. And that's going to be a whole different topic on different podcasts because now today's game is all the spin-offs of Twitch streaming. It's, it's always been YouTube to some extent. Everyone's always said, get a YouTube channel going, help yourself. I've never been one for that. But now it's a result. Now it is on Twitter. It's on what the kids call the Insta. You should be on there, getting the profile. And then now the big one is TikTok. I mean, I jumped on TikTok during the pandemic a year ago and was not regular at it. Maybe I should have because now I see every streamer and their dog is on there showing clips and giving advice and all that such good stuff. But it's never too late. But those are the other things that what they do is they add more stress to you, more time and schedule to do things. And if you think it's easy to edit a TikTok video or to do a YouTube video, it's not. The editing is very long and tedious. So it's a whole new.
Back to the technology confusion. I've opened editing software. I've taken one look at it. And I'm like, I'm not doing that.
Oh yeah,
it is a lot of work.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, there's always a YouTube video to watch, but it's just like sometimes like it's not enough hours in the day to do everything I'd like to do as a content creator. I'd love to get a YouTube going, but at the end of the day, I enjoy streaming far more than I think I would ever enjoy editing a video. So it's like I'm a hop on stream. I'm not going to go out of my way and put up these videos all the time when I'd rather put that time towards hanging out with everybody else.
Yeah, very very good point for sure. Very good points. So one last thing we're going to talk about. And this is a great time of year to talk about it because, I mean, we all know Madden's coming to a slow grind, unfortunately.
My opinion, it did months ago.
Yeah, sure, understandable. And, and even those who are totally keen can make it last to the next one. Last year, I didn't miss a beat, kept on going through the whole way. But I don't think this year I'm going to take the same journey only because I really want to be giddy about it in August. I just don't want to be regurgitated players coming out, and I just got done playing the week before. I want a true 2 months off, July and August of Madden. What that looks like, God only knows. But let's talk about that and being a content creator and what makes you change, modify, or move your content around. Either one of you, JG, you want to jump in there?
Yeah, of course. So,
because you are a variety to the shore.
Yeah, 100%. I for the longest time, Madden streamer. That's what I am. That's what I do every single day. Slowly, I'd sprinkle in. Oh, a day you're here, would do something else. The doldrums of Madden came last year, so I started getting into strictly other games. Next thing you know, I was enjoying that more than I was enjoying the Madden. I got back into Madden when it came out this year. Would play weekend league, do the mutt grind, CFMs, all that stuff, and I'm at the point right now where I don't have much interest in playing the game. I think it's just I don't have as much fun with it. I
Mm-hmm.
think that at the end of the day, that's what it's about. If you're not having fun, there's no point in you streaming the game. Now, in theory, when I stream Madden, I do get some more viewers, but luckily I've been streaming, Warzone long enough where I think I'm starting to pick up some audience there.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
luckily the people that I hang out with are awesome. They hang out regardless of what I'm doing. If I'm playing new games, if I'm opening packs, everyone still hangs out. I mean, that's one of the coolest things about making this community build or grow is the ability to kind of do what you want to do. But I do think that for newer streamers, you kind of have to stick with one game until you get at least a few people there. Because if you're jumping between games, you're not really being able to catch the same interest. And I think that it is important to try to go with, the new
Good
trends.
advice.
Like
Yeah.
right now, if you're a new streamer, I would suggest hopping onto MLB. I think that's something that's got some heat to it, but at the same time, there's less Madden streamers. So
Yeah.
you could try your hand there. I mean, I think that whatever your game is, regardless of if it's in season per se or not, I think there's always going to be someone interested in watching. And all it takes is that one person. That one person's into it, chat's flying. Next thing you know, someone hops in for a few minutes. Oh, it's engaging. Let's hang out here for a little bit. And then you slowly build. I think that games are important, but at the end of the day, if you're having a good time, I promise you someone else is having an even better time. That's just the best thing about this platform is no matter what you're doing, there's always someone who's going to enjoy it if you're enjoying it.
Because I do see, I mean, you're, and Swain knows as well, you're one that you can play up to 3 games, different games a day on your stream.
Yeah,
And that's a great thing. I mean, you could jump, you probably start off in Madden every day within the, for most time it was going to be COD, but now you threw an MLB, so now you got a variety there. And now with the pack openings, the IRL pack openings, I mean, you have quite a variety there, which is, I think is really, really neat.
Yeah, I love being able to do something different because I'm someone who can't really keep their intention on one thing for too terribly long. I think that I get more frustrated the longer I stick with one thing, regardless of the game, even if it's in real life. If I'm watching a show and we're like binging a show, once I'm in, 4, 5, 6 episodes, I'm like, all right, let's switch it up. I kind of want to get into something new. I just have that kind of attention span, maybe the Zoomer mindset where I'm like, I want to get into something else. I used to, grind Madden for 6, 7, 8 hours. I remember one day where I was doing a weekend league run on a Friday, which was an incredible run. I believe I hit top 100 for the only time that weekend.
Nice.
But there's so just other days where you just find yourself getting so frustrated, and switching that game just clears your mind. You feel fresh, and the best part is if you don't play a game for a couple days, you're gonna miss it. The heart grows fonder there. You gotta take breaks sometimes to enjoy something more. If you get a new game and you play it nonstop for 2, 3, 4 days, you're gonna get sick of that game. You're not gonna pick it up for a while. But if you hold yourself, I'm only gonna play it X amount of times. It's gonna keep it fresher for you. It's gonna keep it more consistent. You're not going to blow through it, and you're going to be sitting here going, well, I guess I'm back to my old game now. There's always something to do. There's always something new to do with games, which is why it's also cool. You see other guys playing games, so let me try that out, like this new Outriders game. There's always something where you can switch it up, try something fresh, and see what we can get out of it.
Good stuff. Swain, I would say you're primarily, I'll call you a Madden streamer, although you do other things. What's your trigger? When is it that Swain says, you know what, I'm not doing Madden tonight? Or today?
Well, I think that there was some transition for me personally about a year ago when I was playing Madden. This may shock some of you. I never used to rage playing Madden, and the reason I never did is because I was really trying to keep this like, hey, it's okay, like positive kind of mood to it. And in all honesty, there wasn't a lot of times where I was like having to try hard, but something happened where it's just like, enough is enough. Let the rage out and don't let it go away again. And Weekend League especially, like I cannot play Weekend League on stream until this game gets balanced.
Never will.
Well, and I will argue with people on this. All Madden mode feels like a very old style type of Madden.
Which I hear that and I love that.
If you saw the game I played last night, JG, I would never ask you to do this. It'd be the one time I'd tell you go back and watch the game I played last night. If that's regular seasons or that's weekend league, I'm fucked.
It was a good game.
The thing for me is that I never used to open packs, and then it kind of like, oh, I open packs, and then it was kind of like, this is expensive, and then it's the balance of it all, right? Oddly enough, for the longest time, all I did was play. I'm gonna call myself the Yimmy streamer. Yimmy fucking plays, and then he plays again, and then he plays again, and every now and then he'll open and get a gold, and he's right back in, he's playing again.
Yep.
All Yimmy fucking does is play.
It
It seems like all I do anymore is open fucking packs and get a golds and reroll and training.
Rerolls are a
Yep.
blessing for Madden content.
They are.
Oh,
It's
they're
an
enjoyable to
absolute
watch
habit.
too. I enjoy watching streamers do that.
Yep.
So for me personally, when I'm streaming Madden, it's kind of the reason why, and God bless Afterburn, I wouldn't be able to do without him. We started the SSL because I thought this would be kind of fun to do in the off season, is have like
Mhm.
something where people can listen and or watch, and it'll still be kind of fun, and then we can have chat be interactive and they can be part of it. And there's a time of the year where it starts to slow down. The thing for me is I like to read chat. If
Yeah.
you ever
Yeah.
see me when chat's slow, I become really pissy about it, and I start saying, "Oh, is anybody there? Are you guys still here?" You know, and it's like you
Yep.
can tell that I'm getting irritated. Madden is so good. It's so good of a game, even in between each play, where you can stop for a quick second and read chat.
Which I love.
If you play Dead by Daylight, you can fucking read chat. If you
Yep.
play Call of Duty,
Yeah, look at chat for a second. I ignore chat. Next thing you know, I get killed because of it, and then my teammate's mad. And
Madden is fantastic about that.
It's tough. I mean, I think the Madden's the only game I can think of because NBA very little downtime. MLB, you missing? Oh, guess what? You just struck out because you were
Mhm.
looking over there for a second. I mean, Madden's great for that. There's so much downtime in between plays. During replays and animations and stuff, there's just so much time to be able to really look at it and see it. And I think that's something where the interaction is so great for
Yeah.
Madden because of that.
You could go 20-0 in weekend league every single weekend. If you don't have a personality for streaming, people are not going to watch your channel.
Yes. And that's something we've mentioned. I mean, there's a fine line between being a great player and being an entertaining streamer. You can be a great player. You can be one of the best in the world. But if you don't have the personality, there's a lot of people who won't stay for that. Then there are a lot of people who will stay for that. I mean, you'll see a lot of guys who don't do much besides just play the game really well. And, people enjoy that. But I think that, at least me personally, I would rather see someone who's not great at a game having the time of their life than watch someone really serious, locked in, playing some weekend league or tournament or whatever. I think some people are into that, but I mean, for me, and something that I have to remember as a content creator, I enjoy watching someone have fun, but sometimes I get so locked into my game, I stop having fun, and that's the slippery slope we're on.
Yeah.
It's just you gotta remember
streams
we're
do you
not
watch,
here.
JG? How many streams do you watch, and you're not playing a game at the same time? I don't want to ask Deke this because I know his answer.
It depends. So mainly, if I'm playing a game, it's typically during the day because that's when the fiance is working. When she's home, I'm typically all in on her. Usually, my most watching happens in the morning while I'm getting ready for a stream, or
He said it.
But-
He said it, not me.
Oh, I said
All in,
something
all
bad.
in on
Oh, boy.
her. Yeah, you said all
Oh,
in
man.
on her.
Oh,
I mean, you're supposed
my
to. You're
inner
doing it
Dave Carell there just.
And that's something that is good and sometimes
Carell,
a little
sorry, Steve
stressful
Carell.
in Twitch. You say something out of context or you word something bad
Yeah.
and that clip lives forever.
My
But
point
there's a
being is
lot.
that it's very, very rare for me to ever just be watching a stream.
Yeah, you're always doing something else.
I'm
often
either if I'm at
making
lunch,
dinner,
yeah,
hanging out.
you're one of the few that I watch because I'm at lunch. I don't have the option of playing a game while watching you, so I sit there and watch you. But a lot of times for me, it's more the audio than the video. I'm usually listening, and a lot of times it's up to the streamer for me to know, like, I got to stop what I'm doing and watch this. And so if you play a game like Madden, right, for $1 million, I couldn't tell you what any of you motherfuckers run. I don't. Gut Fox, I don't know what the fuck he runs. He passes a lot. I know that.
Right.
I listen to you guys. You, for me personally, I can't speak for anybody else. For me personally, I don't care what your guys are playing. If I like
Yep.
you and I feel
Yep.
like you have supported me or my channel or I genuinely like your content,
Yeah.
there could be the best streamer out there could be streaming right now. I'm not going to watch them. I'm going to watch one of my boys or one of my girls that I know and I feel like deserve my time and for me to watch or listen.
Yeah.
I'm always playing a game, listening to streams. A lot of times you'll know it. You'll be like, Swain, and I go, what? What'd you say? What's that? Because I'm fucking playing.
Right, grinding solos or playing
Grinding like
head-to-head
crazy.
or re-rolling while you got a stream on in the background. It's fantastic. I love it.
What I will say is that you need a main game. If you're going to be a content creator, you need a main game. It doesn't even have to be a specific brand of game, but like if you're going to be a COD streamer, people will watch you play COD. If you go to another first person type shooter, if that's your main, JG, you're very rare in this. People will still continue to watch. They kind of want to see that first person shooter aspect. But don't, as a content creator, don't feel like, man, I probably shouldn't stream this game because people will stop watching. Like, they probably will. They probably will. But just know that, like, you're going to have to either be the type of streamer that you're going to want to do that or you're going to drop off. If there's a compliment I've ever gotten that I thought was really cool, it's that I've had people that actually have check marks tell me I've had two of them. I'm not going to name them. I've had two of them reach out to me and say, how do you get viewers to watch you play a different game? And I'm like, I have no fucking idea. I just played a different game. My numbers drop when I switch Madden. And it's kind of like, do you care if the numbers drop off?
That's a tough thing.
It is
so tough.
And you'll hear people say, like, just stream and have fun, right? I can play games that are really fun. I guarantee you motherfuckers will not be talking in chat.
Yeah.
You will not be. I could play Don't Starve. You'd be like, what is this game? For the first 5-10 minutes, you guys would be like, what the fuck is he playing? So
that's what's
just
so
keep
tough.
that in mind. Like,
you got
you're only
that
gonna have
core
so
group
much
that'll
fun.
be there, but if you change games, it's tough because you got that group that will follow you, but there's absolutely that group that's just there for the one game, and you'll see it. But I think the most satisfying thing as a streamer is taking those people who are only here, because I've had people tell me that they used to only come by for one game, but they've enjoyed me play the other games. They've been like, hey, I don't like to watch Warzone, but I like to watch you play Warzone. And I think that's the biggest compliment that I can honestly get, is someone saying, you know, doesn't matter what you're doing, I'm enjoying it. And then that's something that's incredible as a content creator, because you're like, man, if I'm doing that much right, then I can you know, always have a good time out here.
Yeah. I would literally watch either one of you no matter what you play. I mean, most of the time, if you think about it, the best part of a stream when you watch it, they're not really playing the game. They're at a pause, or they're in between a game, or they're doing something where it doesn't. That's as a content creator, that's what you got to focus on. Is why are people going to watch you? What are you talking about?
Yep.
What kind of inside jokes are you going to have with your viewers? What kind of things in common are you going to have with your viewers? You know, those are things that, man, in the 3 years I've been streaming, I would do in fucking Twitch and their anti-music playing and all this shit, all the VODs I'd erase. I would love nothing more than to go back and see me being like, all like, hey man, you know, be positive and stuff. Don't talk like that. This game's still fun.
Right.
I know.
Oh man, it's tough when you're not being yourself too, because there's most people can sniff that out right away. I mean, not everyone can, but sometimes you look at something, you're like, it's not, they're not having a good time, or this isn't what the guy really is, you know. And it can be tough sometimes, but I think it's important to just be genuine, whether or not, you know. I think it's important to have energy and some charisma, but at the end of the day, you don't have to be the most exciting person in the world to be successful and to have a good time on the platform. I think that if you do everything right, you know, the interactions, some entertainment, you don't even have to be good at the game. I think there are people who don't really play the game much and do very, very well. So I think that as long as you have the good content, I think that people will come. It's always going to happen. And
yeah, for sure. I agree 100%. Just reading some of the comments going through chat there, there's a lot of feeling the same way. Yeah, for sure. So we are at 1:15 of the show, where we're almost hitting the record of our longest show.
Sorry, I knew this would happen.
No, we're good. We're good. We got some more topics for next time. But
I think there's no question that we got to get another Swain show in.
Absolutely.
I think there's a lot, especially we've talked a little bit before about, you know, the mental aspect of watching numbers, and I think that we got into a little bit tonight, but I think that's something that, you know, there's more we get into, man. It's just, there's so much to talk about in that realm that Not
Yeah.
a lot of people really
Yeah, I think there'd be a lot of interest in
understand.
that too. Yeah.
It's tough, man. It really
Because
is.
it is happening a lot lately, and people don't have an understanding, I don't think, what it's all about. But
Yep.
there is something, and I'm blindsiding both of you, especially you, JG, my co-host, and that is random piece of advice, RPA, for a new streamer. And it's something I like to do, nothing to do with Topics Tonight, or they can be to do with Topics Tonight.
Mhm.
And we'll start with our guest, Swain Games. Do you have any random piece of advice for someone who is not on right now on Twitch TV, but they're looking at you, listening to you, waiting for you to tell them what to or not to do?
I mean, like I mentioned before, focus on why you started streaming or why you want to stream, and don't lose sight of that. I have lost sight of that numerous times.
I love that.
You'll hear people say things like talk and stream like 80 people are watching you and 1 people's watching you. Like
Yeah.
I've had to do things that as an adult I feel like are silly, but I've had to hide how many people are watching me. I've had to hide average view count. It literally takes a toll on my mentals,
Yeah.
because you will stream on a Tuesday. I'm going to speak for a small streamer. You're going to stream one day and you're going to have 5 people watching. You're going to be like, I can literally tell you about conversations I had with my wife, Mrs. Swain, where I was like, I had 5 people watching me for like an hour and a half tonight. 5 people. And calling my cousin, like, I had 5 people watching me tonight.
Absolutely. It's huge, right?
If I have 5 people watching me on an average for a week and I stream 5 times, I'm gone. What
Yeah.
happened to that? Why
Yeah.
is that?
Yeah.
I cannot describe you. Focus and keep in mind of why you are streaming.
Yep.
You can have goals. You can say, you know what, I want to make $100,000 on the Twitch platform. That's fine. Don't expect to get it in the first year, and don't lose
Yeah.
sight of it.
Mhm.
Don't lose sight of it. Just keep that in mind. That is the one thing that I have. A very, very quick story, because it's important, is I have bitched to people like James P, and I've bitched to people like Jimmy Jim and Wes especially. I've had many of conversations with those gentlemen, especially Wes, man. And it was not that long ago that we were chasing partner, and I felt like I had done everything that I needed to do to hit partner. I made a lot of fucking money for this goddamn company, and we didn't get it. And it's not a finger pointing thing, but it's more of a finger pointing thing of,
Yep.
man, what can I do, Wes? What have I done? What did I do wrong? What did I not do enough of? I did everything everybody's telling me. I'm having fun, and I was. And my subs are up, and they were, and my viewers are up, and they were, and I'm streaming more often, and I'm streaming on my schedule, and I've done everything I'm supposed to do. And then it gets down to where it's like, now because I was sick, I only have 60 people watching me, and then I only have 50 people watching me. Wes said, there are people out there that have been streaming longer than you have and more often than you do, and they are excited as they can be because they have 10 people watching them. Don't lose
Yep.
sight of that.
Yep.
That is the one thing that I
2
constantly
words.
have to remind myself of. And I'll shut up because I'll keep you motherfuckers here till
That's actually very close to what I was gonna talk about. I mean, I've mentioned before, just realistic expectations, having fun, all that stuff. But I think that sometimes comparing yourself to bigger people is bad. Sometimes it's good. But I think sometimes keeping the perspective of where you are compared to other streamers around you, especially people you hang out with, and you look at it and you're like, man, this person's fantastic and they don't have what I have. Even though I don't have a lot, I got to be happy with what I have. At the end of the day, sometimes you only have 4 or 5 people, but there's sometimes people who have nobody besides their lurk account. I mean, it's sometimes hard to keep that in perspective, especially when you want something bigger for yourself. You want to be this bigger than big, and you can't get there. You're crawling. You feel like you're doing everything right. Sometimes you are. I have had people tell me, you're doing everything right. You're doing great. Your content's great. # partner JG. And the numbers aren't there. You know, hopefully they will be someday. But at the end of the day, you look at it and you're like, I have people who would probably kill for the situation I have, and I got to remember that even though I might not be where I want to be, I'm in a much better situation than I could be, considering just circumstances in the world, circumstances in my life. I mean, I got to be grateful for the platform I have and the people around me. And I think that it's sometimes you lose sight of that. Sometimes you lose sight that, you know, if I'm not on and I don't post, there are people who are asking me, hey, is everything okay? You know, just checking. And then and something like that is incredible to know that even if you're not on, someone's thinking about you. And then that's bigger than any number you can get on this platform.
Yeah, good advice for sure. Very good advice. The one thing I had tonight is a little bit off from what you both mentioned, but still good none the same. And that is when you come on here, understand you're going to need tough skin. You're going to need tough skin, and I don't care who you are, what you stream, what time you stream, or what country you stream from. You're going to need tough skin, and not just from the trolls you don't know, from the trolls you know, from everyone. And I mean that in a loving way. People are going to get at you, having fun. I don't see a streamer that's doing well that doesn't get ribbed by his chat. You got to have tough skin.
Sometimes it hits. Yeah. Sometimes it hits different, even if it's someone that you know it's out of love. Sometimes it just hits you, and you're like,
sometimes it can change your whole mood. You're being watched.
Yep.
And
next thing you know, you're real snappy. You're real. Yeah.
Oh yeah. And you got to have tough skin, and you got to understand too, is the last thing you ever want to do. And I'm looking you dead in the eyes, who's ever out there watching on YouTube or right now on stream or listening on a podcast, turning your ears on, and that is, don't you dare put shit in social media. Because that is something I see more and more of all the time. And I see it in real life as well as in the gaming community. And I tell you, once it's out there, you can't take it back. And you may see something you don't like or somebody doing something you don't like. Be careful. Be careful because people see things. They tell people what they saw and what they read. How many wars have we seen on Twitter now, you know, between streamers and stuff? He said, she said, don't do it. You know, in my life, I've always had, I had to have as a coach, a 24-hour rule, and I do at work, where I don't respond to an email that upsets me or anything I see that upsets me for at least 24 hours. So I got time to stop and think about it. And it's a rule that my wife adopted from me, and then hopefully my son will too. And I tell you, things are different 24 hours later. You won't say the same things you're going to say on the dot, because when you say those things, you can't take them back. So if you're a streamer, have tough skin and keep your shit off social media, and you'll do fine. Yeah,
absolutely. Don't angry tweet. Don't angry tweet, and don't angry stream. Don't do either of those. Just don't do it. At the end of the day, man, we're all going against stuff. We're all, we're all against life itself.
We're all the same hobby. Yeah.
Going against the stream. It's what we're all doing. I mean, it's the way it is. It's the way this job is. And at the end of the day, you know, I wouldn't trade it for anything.
No, for sure. But I do know one thing we can all agree on, and that is really appreciate our guy Swaying Games coming tonight. We would love to have you back, my friend, and talk about, I think it'd be a great topic to dig in a little deeper about this thing called partnership. Because I know that it means a lot of different things, a lot of different people, and new streamers, they see it and they want it. And I think it'd be good to talk about, you know, people who are, you know, like yourself, Swain, who, you know, what really deserves that check mark, has been there, has done everything they had to do, and still haven't qualified. It should be great to hear some more about that from you. I think it'd be a whole show, actually, talk about it in partnership and what we're seeing coming up. So stay tuned for that in the very near future. But for now,
I'd love to have Swain back anytime, regardless of the topic.
Absolutely.
Even if it's outside the stream topics, even if it gets into sports or games, whatever.
Yeah.
I'd love to have Swain back any day of the week.
Yeah, anytime, fellas. I had an absolute blast. This is cool. I genuinely hope that this reaches one person out there.
That's all we can hope for, and I feel confident. I'm pretty sure it will, for real. Appreciate you, JG, my co-host as always. Love you, little bro.
Absolutely.
You take care. And for all those in podcast land and watching on YouTube and on Twitch here tonight, appreciate you all very much. Twitch stream, don't go anywhere. We're going to play some marbles here very shortly. Thank you so much, Swing. Good night, everybody, and thank you for joining the podcast. Appreciate you. Peace out.
See you.